What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. So I feel like the Clippers got a real problem on their hands that just might have got worse. PJ Tucker has been expressing his displeasure with the Clippers only in regards to not being able to get any playing time, being on the floor and being a part of the team in regards to contributing. But now, of course, the trade deadline happened yesterday and the Clippers have stood pat basically and didn't move PJ Tucker as he probably thought he should or they would. But in regards to saying that, now, he's expressed himself a little bit more, as you see here, and basically saying this is a damn joke, in regards to the whole situation, because he feels like in his mind, apparently, the Clippers could have moved him if they wanted to. They're just holding on to him for some apparent reason, and obviously he doesn't know why. And I have to say, I agree with him, wholeheartedly, because I don't know why the Clippers are keeping him as well. I mean, if he wants to go, if he wants to, be a part of another organization where he can kind of, play a little bit more and help, I guess why not let him leave? Especially, you don't want nobody in the locker room or within the locker room that's disgruntled or having any type of negativity, especially when you're playing as good as the Clippers are playing. They lost their last game against the Pelicans, but I mean, that really doesn't matter. They won 26 out of their last 32 games, which is the best in the NBA in the last few months, the best in the NBA that we've seen in a team do in a long time. And it's the best I think the Clippers as an organization have ever been in a stretch of basketball like that. So with that being said, you look at the situation with PJ Tucker. Now, I'll say this much. I've said before that, I don't think he's the player that he once was in regards to defense. But at the same time, he can be valuable for a team, I believe. But Ty Lue is really, just kind of keeping it, 7 to 8 man roster pretty much every night consistently. And, that's just the way Ty Lue sees it at this point. But it doesn't mean Ty Lue would not use him at some point. I mean, because in the playoffs, it's always good to have somebody like a PJ Tucker around who can, give you a few minutes and go in there and, be physical with somebody and, kind of give them the works in that regard of fashion. That's almost like what they had with Marcus Morris. He wasn't really that effective in the playoffs offensively, but he's a bruiser. He would go in there and bother the other team's opposing star player and make him work for everything he gets and, get in foul trouble and basically make a fool of himself at times. But I mean, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the only way that I think they can kind of utilize or what I think they possibly can see in PJ Tucker if they keep him or if they continuously keep him. It could just be a situation they haven't found the right, situation comfortable for them to get the comfortable pieces they want back in return for PJ Tucker. And it could be a situation where other teams don't want PJ Tucker like that. And I think that's where PJ Tucker has to kind of look at the situation. I think he can have some type of value, but other teams might be looking at it from the total opposite. He might not have much value to give them because he is older. And he really can't move his feet the way he once could. He still can play defense slightly a little bit. I mean, I don't think he's completely done. But I mean, a PJ Tucker at his best was not a superstar. A PJ Tucker at his best was a good role player. You see what I'm saying? So when you lose some of your abilities and you was only a good player at best at your peak, well, that good kind of turns into subpar, halfway bad, no damn good. We don't need you. See what I'm saying? Kind of turns into that over time. So, I mean, I think that's something else he has to consider. And I don't know. As far as the Clippers, I mean, if Ty Lue was thinking to keep him for like a playoff spot or something like that, to maybe throw a little difference at a team or something like that, throw a little trickery in there, maybe that would work. I don't know what he's thinking. But at the same time, I personally think the Clippers maybe try to make some moves to move them because, of course, like I said, you don't want nobody disgruntled in your locker room, especially with them playing as good as they are. But the good thing about PJ Tucker, I don't really think he would be a disgruntled type guy in the locker room. I just think internally he would be, hurt. Internally, he would just be like mentally distraught at the situation. But hopefully it doesn't leak out as much to where it's going to distract the team. Now, of course, these reports have already leaked out now. So, I mean, hopefully it doesn't extend to go any further. And I've actually been reading some other things as well. I've read something where he wasn't accepting like a buyout or something like that, or who knows what that situation may be. But regardless of, I don't know where the situation is with PJ Tucker, but as I said before, it might even be to the point where other teams don't really see his value anymore, or maybe the Clippers just decide to keep him just to have an extra body they can utilize maybe in the playoffs. Who knows? I'm not sure, but I really hope it doesn't spill over no more than what it has. I think they should have found a way to maybe not even bring PJ Tucker in or on this roster, and maybe found another piece, something like that on the 76ers when they brought in James Harden. I mean, of course, I don't think PJ Tucker really would have really move the needle for them or anything like that. So I know he was a part of the deal in regards to James Harden, but I think maybe they could have negotiated something else in regards, or somebody else instead of PJ Tucker, and I actually found a way to keep Robert Covington. I definitely would have liked them to keep him, because I think he's a lot more understanding of the situation, even though he's a younger player, a little bit younger than PJ Tucker. And, of course he wanted to play as well, but you never really heard anything out of him in regards to the media and talking and, leaking things out in regards to his disgruntledness and his dissatisfaction towards the team. And those type of things go a long way when you're trying to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, I feel like they really kind of bit the bullet here, getting somebody like PJ Tucker if you're not going to utilize him, because he's the type of guy who's going to want to get used, because he's won a championship in this league and he's played defense at the highest level in this league at one time. So, and he was always good at knocking down those corner threes. That was pretty much his spots, what I'm saying, within, his game at that point. But, man, I just really hope that it doesn't really spill over with this team, as I said, because you never know, really, situations like this, they can kind of flip a team upside down when you have that disgruntledness in the locker room, because depending on who in the locker room he's close with saying certain things, and it gets back to, Ty Lue, and then there's like a back and forth and a lot of commotion about it, it could really split a team in half. So, I mean, the way the Clippers are playing right now, they don't need any distractions. So, I mean, if they found a way to get rid of them, I mean, that'd be good. Or if not, hey, find a way to play them.